As a writer and a bit of an artist, when I start developing an idea for a story, I often make concept sketches of the characters that I'm considering for the story. Sketching them can help me get a sense of who they are, what they might talk or move like, and once I start writing the actual story, having a mugshot of sorts for the characters gives me a quick reference to look at if I can't remember somebody's eye color or who was supposed to be taller. This is a really rough sketch I did way back in 2016 of some characters that I was developing for a story idea that I ended up putting on the back burner for a while as I worked on other projects. Drawing on my love of second-generation K-pop groups and the 90s boy bands I grew up with, the story was going to be about a demon boy band sent to Earth to steal the hearts of their fans on behalf of their king back in the demon world. The lead member of this boy band would start to fall in love with the human world and with some human girl whose heart he wanted to protect. And he would try to sever his ties to the wicked demon king and escape the reach of the demonic realm. If this story doesn't sound familiar to you, then you obviously haven't been on the internet in the past month, because it's basically Jinu's character arc from K-pop Demon Hunters, which has soared to become one of Netflix's most popular shows and is already set to become a trilogy, have a live-action adaptation, and a whole bunch more. Basically, it was a massive hit. Let this serve as a lesson to not sit on your good ideas forever. But what exactly happened? Did the writers of K-pop Demon Hunters hack their way onto my computer and go through my scattered notes in my project ideas folder? Did I, whilst dreaming one night, catch a prophetic glimpse of a future where singing girls in leather took the world by storm, and upon waking from my dream, hurriedly write down notes? Well, no. What happened is that with over 8 billion people on the planet, some of whom are writers, there are bound to be people who independently come up with the same idea. If you follow the publishing industry much, there's often some lawsuit or another cropping up with claims of plagiarism. Some of these are well-founded, and some are just based on the fact that 2 books were written in the same genre and utilized the same tropes that are commonly found in said genre. Like, no, just because someone's vampire romance novel heavily features the vampire fighting his instincts to drink the blood of his human love interest, it doesn't mean that author is copying, inspired by, or even really aware of the existence of Stephenie Meyer's Twilight. I've basically just described 98% of all vampire romance novels. But sometimes the number of similarities between 2 stories goes beyond a few shared tropes and can get uncanny. When you look at my old sketch of my demonic boy band, not only did I and Maggie Kong, the director of K-pop Demon Hunters and the originator of the idea for the story, not only did we come up with a similar story concept, it's a little funny and eerie how many superficial similarities there are between the Saja boys and my little demonic boy band. I'm really just missing Mystery Saja here. These kinds of duplicate ideas happen all the time. Speak to any author and they'll probably be able to tell you of an idea or several they had that someone else did first. Sometimes they find out about it before they write their story, as I did with K-pop Demon Hunters, and sometimes they don't find out until long after their work has been finished and released to the world. But when an idea like a demonic boy band stealing the hearts or souls of their fan base soars to such popularity as K-pop Demon Hunters has, the reality is, there's no way I could write that same story now without everyone assuming I just plagiarized the film. As is, this idea I had for my demon boy band is, in the words of a popular Canadian TV show from my childhood, fit for the pit. So I kind of wanted to talk about this sense of loss a little bit, about how, as much as I, like everyone else, thoroughly enjoyed K-pop Demon Hunters, every time I see a tutorial on how to make Rumi's braid or see a cover of Soda Pop, there's a little part of me that wants to throw a pity party and says, why didn't I write my story sooner? The first thing I want to say is that this sense of loss and self-pity over an idea you had that someone else got to first is normal. It's normal to sort of grieve an idea you had that you loved. It's okay if I feel a little twinge every time one of my friends posts about how they're blasting Golden on repeat. It would be okay if I hated K-pop Demon Hunters just a little bit for existing, even if I also have Golden blasting on repeat. But when someone else has gotten to your idea first, where do you go from there? What are our options? The first option is maybe to write your story anyway. Often when two people come up with the same story idea, their individual lived experiences and outlooks on life mean that their ideas may start off the same, but will end up turning into very different stories. The story of a merry band of outlaws stealing from the Richie Riches is going to look very different depending on whether it's written by one of those Richie Riches or by one of the peasants who labor for them. There's a very real possibility that had I written my demonic boy band story earlier, it would have turned out very different from K-pop Demon Hunters. The last time I worked on it, I had no plans for a corresponding legendary demon hunting girl band who protects the barrier between worlds through the power of their voice, so that's different. The film also celebrates Korean music and culture, bringing in an authentic Korean-American perspective that just would never have existed in any version of the story I wrote. But even beyond that, it's entirely possible that I would have focused on different themes that would have shaped my story into something that was really only similar to K-pop Demon Hunters in its original premise, but nothing more than that. I guess we'll never know that now, thanks to the ubiquity of K-pop Demon Hunters making it near impossible for me to get away with that same story idea. But in an alternate universe, my own demonic boy band story might have become something unique and worthy in its own right. The second option is to take a closer look at your story idea and think about what it is that truly interests you about that idea. Break your idea down into its core concepts and find out what it is that excites you. Is it the boy band aspect I'm most interested in? Okay, there are a million other boy band stories I could write. They don't have to be demons. They could be aliens, undercover agents, or any number of other things. They could even be an actual boy band. Or maybe the aspect I'm most interested in is the demons stealing hearts for their king. Do they really have to be part of a boy band then? Or maybe it's simply the idea of people trying to escape a toxic past that keeps trying to draw them back in, about them learning healthier ways to live and reaching for a new light that's entered their lives. That doesn't have to have anything to do with boy bands or demons. I can do whatever I want with that. When you break down your story ideas to the core parts they are made from, you will usually find that those core parts are things that no one person can lay any claim or copyright to. They are often basic truths or tropes that anyone can use and make their own. So take a closer look at your story ideas, find out what really interests you about them, and you might be able to rescue your ideas and breathe new life into them. The last thing you can do with a story idea that someone else wrote first is you can let it go. Sometimes this hurts, but it's a valid option too. There's a reason why we say that ideas are cheap. Ideas come and go. Everyone gets them. Many people even get good ideas. But it's the work and skill and heart poured into transforming an idea into a good story that matters and that separates the skillful writers from everyone else. A truly skilled writer can even take a bad idea and make it viable. The point is that you, as a writer, will have other ideas. You'll have many ideas. You'll have other ideas you love as much as you love this idea now. So don't get too wrapped up in that one idea, that one lost opportunity. Grieve it for a while if you must, but then you can let it go and move on to your next great idea. So what am I going to do with my demonic boy band idea? I don't know for sure yet. I have a few other ideas on the back burner that I might be able to sort of merge it with, making it new, make it a little more complex, and reanimate its corpse. For now, though, I'm working on a few other things, so we'll see how it all goes. In the meantime, I will keep enjoying K-pop Demon Hunters, even if sometimes it's a tad begrudgingly and with a little bit of jealousy. And I will celebrate its successes. It was a gem of a film, executed very well and with a lot of heart. And I'll be completely honest, even if I had written my demonic boy band story exactly as intended, K-pop Demon Hunters would have been the better version of that story, even if only because this kind of story is just made for an audiovisual format. So, props to everyone involved for making great use of that format to tell such a fun story. Congratulations all around. Love ya. Hate you just a little bit. Probably will get over it eventually, after I have a good sulk over in a dark corner for a while. But that's it for this video. Do you have any other tips to get over it when somebody else has taken your good idea? Have you ever had a story idea that someone else got to first, and do you secretly hold a grudge? Share your frustration in the comments, and I will see you next time.